watched Stranger Things season 5, volume 1, 2, and 3. Really enjoy it. I definitely was mourning afterwards. On New Year's Day, I woke up and I was really sad. I'm better now. It's a journey, emotional journey. I'm really attached to the characters in the show, and like I knew it'd be a lot when it ended to come to terms with, because it was like a decade. I mean, I first watched in my early 20s. Loved volume 1. Volume 2 was okay. Did enjoy volume 3, how it ended, the finale. But I guess we're gonna go through each volume and just like rough overview of like what you thought, what I thought. Volume 1, I think was my favorite.
Really?
1, 2, and 3.
I'm surprised.
I really liked 1. It was just so cool seeing them again after 3 years of waiting for this season. I mean, the last one came out in 2022, and I love season 4. I think it's, besides the first season, my favorite season. Badass mom saving her daughter from the Demogorgon and got the wine bottle, smashed it, and was like, do not hurt her, I'm gonna come after you. And she did.
The damn thing.
Anyway, I saw Max again with Holly. And I didn't expect Holly to be like that big of a character. She was really prominent this season, and I was like iffy about it. I still don't like love the character. I do like Holly, but I'm not like, I don't care much about her because I only got introduced to her in this season. It was like a little adventure story with the Holly and her. It was like Alice and Mad Hatter, a lot of comparisons. It was cool because like they really bonded, and like it was just interesting because they formed like a really good friendship, and you know, obviously Holly looked to her for help and advice and protection, and Max was like, I've done this before, I can help you out, I'm trying to get out too. Vecna's origins are unfolding, and I love an origin story. Love a villain origin story. And I love Jamie Bauer's performance as him, even though you see it more in volume 2 and the finale, but volume 1 was like unraveling it slowly, which was nice. And of course, absolutely obsessed with episode 4. Still the best episode of the entire show, when you see Will as Will the Sorcerer. I thought Mike was goner. But then he almost got attacked, and then you see the Demogorgon frozen, and I was just like, is this Will? Is it really happening? Because there was hints to it, and I thought maybe it was gonna happen, and just seeing it come to life, like his hand doing this thing, and then in the flames behind him, and then he kneels down, he wipes his nose. I lost my, even Joyce, his own mother sees him like using powers, freeze the Demogorgon, like twists their arms and ligaments, like Chrissy. He Vecna'd the Demogorgon. Yeah. He like gets his powers through Vecna, so he can like kind of like see through him, and also he can see the Demogorgons.
Yeah, because he's a vessel. So
he's a vessel. On the neck, it was more like goosebumps of like, you have things going on inside of you, have to like unleash this thing in you. And Robin kind of showed him that like you need to look in, you know, not from someone else, but in yourself, of like your potential. And he heard Robin's voice, and then I think obviously what triggered him was when Mike was gonna be, you know, potentially killed. It like, he loves Mike, of course, so he was like, I gotta save him. He's like, I've had this hidden thing for 5 seasons, and I didn't even realize it because I've never channeled it like now, and now I can. And it's not like it's forever power, because he has to be close proximity with Vecna, kind of, but he can still use them, and he saved all of them, and it was so cool. And his eyes went white. Oh, I just was obsessed with it. It was very much like Will and Vecna are like Harry and Voldemort. Like, it was so similar to me, and I love Harry Potter, so
yeah, because a lot of people are comparing the goosebumps to Harry Potter's scar.
Yes.
Like, Vecna did his damage to Will and left a scar, not a physical scar, but sick. Like, he was a mixture of Ultron and like
Ultron and Terminator had a baby. Now, volume 2, love the laundry scene in the hospital with Karen saving the day. Oh, badass mom. Second time coming back saving the day.
Ted Wheeler too, don't forget Ted. He tried it with the 9-9. He didn't do much, but he
tried. But love the laundry scene where it was Vicky, Robin, Lucas, and Max, and they were hiding from them, and then Karen does the oxygen tank throws it in the dryer and it explodes. It was so cool. It was very like action packed.
If it wasn't the demi-dogs and it was actual, because Will killed the adult demigorgons, they would have been so screwed if those were the actual demigorgons, because they would have just like...
Yeah, but then also emotionally, Lucas played her song the entire time because like she has to play her song, and he was like, I can't turn it off because she needs me to play it for her.
Yeah.
To help her like get out of her, you know, coma. I also love the coming out scene. That was really important because that was like pivotal, and that was really emotional, and I got teary-eyed during it. You got teary-eyed during it. And it was really like
because it's like
heartfelt to me that he was like, I need you guys to accept me because like you're my friends and family. And you
snap like actually.
Yeah, it meant a lot to him. It took 2 days of filming, like 2 12-hour days of filming, just for that scene because he was so invested. I love that. Volume really 2 was also when you see the like Max and Holly getting back into Hawkins and kind of finding out more about like Vecna. When you finally see like Henry on the staircase transition to Vecna, and then Vecna making Max levitate again, and I was like, please don't hurt her for like again. Like she's been through enough. She's almost like a Will's level. And Holly, you know, was there, and it was so scary. And then Will comes through Vecna and says, "Run!" That's whole run scene. Like literally talk through him. I mean, his mouth moved while Will's mouth moved. It was so cool. Besides that, I thought it was a little slow paced for my taste. Max, your man's right there. Go to him. And she's like, Holly, best of luck. I gotta go. Find your way. Good luck. Peace. Like there was so much dialogue and it was slower paced, volume 2, and I got kind of like less excited because I was like, okay, I love volume 1. Volume 2 was like kind of like went down like this. It was a good finale. It was like definitely like they like kind of went up like this again in the last episode, and it was very like full force, action packed, 0 to 100, no stop, no slow moments. Like kind of really loved like almost every scene in the finale. Like I really love the tower scene, and Steve almost died. Thank God. I was so nervous. I was like, are they gonna do that in the first 10 minutes of the show? Like, are you joking? Like they waited this entire time to kill him, and they off him last episode.
They're like, bye.
Jonathan saves him. He's like, dude, I don't like you, but I'm gonna let you die.
He had the most character growth.
Oh, character arc was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, but like him specifically,
I actually
went from like the asshole to like the father figure.
Will, Nancy, and Steve have the best arc to me.
Yeah. Oh, Hopper too, a little bit.
The top 3: Will, Steve, and Nancy. Speaking of Nancy, what a freaking bad bitch. She popped the hell off, and she was locked in. Every moment she was like locked and loaded, literally, with her gun, and she was like, let me do this, back the hell up. Her poor brother asked her weapon, and she was like, here's
Oh, that part's funny as hell, where Lucas is like, that's a flare gun.
Flare gun. From her arc and like innocent little book nerd Nancy to 5, and she's like literally defeating the mind flayer in this cave, and she was like, come at me.
Because Henry has such a fascination with spiders, and you see that when they first introduce him.
But even like in the cave with his origin story, when Will got to him and Will was like, you don't have to do this, and Henry was like, no, I chose this. I chose to be bad. I chose to let this stone, you know, being inside of me and take over me, and I chose this. And so because he chose it, it was like, I need it and it needs me. And we are one. We are one. And he's literally one, but he's also like, we're one. So Will was like, I can't help this person because I can't save him. He's already way too far gone. He chose to be evil. Like he wanted to be evil. So he was just a miserable person.
It's a mutual relationship.
And you could tell he was like crying and like bleeding out in the cave. And you could tell he was like, I remember like that cave was where it all started with the briefcase and the stone. And it got into me, and I think part of him was like a little bit human, like, oh shit, like I could have stopped this, but then also he can't because it like literally the entity like got inside of him, and he was like, I wanted complete power and I got it. And I think why everything happened on November 6th, because his badge number was 1106.
Do you think that happened in the cave on November 6th?
Probably. The codependency thing almost, like it's so in him now. It's a part of his like being, personality, like body, everything, emotionally, mentally, and I think he's just too far gone.
This is why the mind flayer didn't want him to go into the cave, because you would have that contemplation.
Yes, man, he said the mind flayer doesn't want you to see inside of there. That's why he was like trying to struggle to get inside of there. And the mind flayer used him as a vessel, just like Will is a vessel. They're both vessels.
Yeah.
Although Will was like, I'm gonna fight him on it and not let him do that to me. And then Henry was like, no, I'm gonna let him because I am going to like accept the evil. When Joyce was like, you effed with the wrong fam and sliced his head off
in the mind flayer?
with the axe.
Yeah, inside the body of the mind flayer. They cave,
so amazing that she was able to wield the axe.
Yeah.
And you saw all the visions.
And the flashbacks of everything.
Of everybody that got like
that messed
totally
with
like
Bob, Barb.
Barb
was the first one.
Bob, Billy,
yeah.
Eddie, Will, Dustin's moment with Steve, that he like finally had to come to terms with like, I'm still struggling with like Eddie and his death.
Well, he also said to Steve too, he goes, I don't want to lose another friend.
He got so attached to Steve and so attached to Eddie that he lost, and he couldn't lose another friend like that, because like Eddie and Steve were so much like, he looked up to them. I like the fact that they actually had like conflict because of Dustin's like inner turmoil of like depression, sadness, like like people have struggles, and it sometimes like makes friendships like really tough, and especially as guys, especially in the 80s. He got beat up in the graveyard.
Yeah, like
and he was trying to say hi to Eddie's grave, and it was said burn in hell, which is horrible.
And the dead snake too.
And like I know he was so sad, but he didn't have to get beat up, and he antagonizes them because he's so obviously a projection of sadness is like, you're just an angry person. It was so weird seeing him always just so friendly and goofy, and then like a really angry kid. And like, that's not Dustin that I know.
PTSD does.
Yeah. The unproposal with Nancy and Jonathan, because Jonathan was like, I realize we're on two different paths, and you need to be you and be independent, and we are too different. We have too many conflicts. We're also trauma bonded, which is not healthy, and it's toxic. And he was like, I thought this ring was going to fix us, and it's not going to. And Nancy, I feel like we're never going to be on the same page ever. And she agreed, not marry me. And she tossed the ring, and it was just so like crazy. That was literally
when they realized that the room stopped.
Yeah, that was their breakup, and it was kind of like, wow, like 5 seasons later, and like the love triangle, and Steve was like, well, we're not on the same page either, and I want kids, she doesn't, and Jonathan and her aren't either. I was like, I think she needs to be by herself, and she does. She needs to just do her thing, be alone, find herself. She needs to just forget about boys right now. She's like too independent. I was skeptical of Kali, we all were, but I think she really genuinely was like, I'm looking out for you, I'm trying to help you out. Like, unfortunately she died, but before she died, she was like, my story ends here, but yours doesn't, and cast an invisibility spell on her to make her go into hiding and to go find her peace on her own. Hopper had to accept that. Mike had to accept that. It was heartbreaking. Because he already lost her once at the end of season 1 in the classroom. First of all, the sound, she couldn't have done it if the sound was on.
Yeah.
And 2, she couldn't have gone into Mike's head and like talked to him if she was using her powers,
Yeah, because she has to have the blindfold.
Right. So I'm like, she's obviously alive. They wouldn't put that in there for no reason.
Finger things too.
Also, but also like movies and shows don't, like, if you die, they're gonna show the death. That's why Hopper in season 3, they didn't show him. That's why season 4, in the Russian prison, he was still alive. They didn't show it. All they showed was a hurricane, the wind tunnel, whatever, and then nothing. Barb, Bob, Billy, Eddie, they literally showed them dead. They never showed her dead. So she's alive. Forcer episode was the ending with D&D, the final D&D game.
It was really cute.
And they ended it, came full circle with them in the basement.
And
the
Mike
Wheelers.
Looking down at his sister and her friends.
And the new generation.
They put the book backs too.
That made me sob. It was like them putting away not only the game, but their childhood's ending. It was like them saying bye to D&D, to their childhood, to Hawkins, to all that stuff, because they're moving on, they're going to college, whatever. But when it kind of ends how it started, and I think they wanted to end on a cozy note of how you felt when you watched the first episode of season 1, and that's how I felt. And I was like, oh, I'm like getting that like nostalgia back of like
sprinkler song. We both freaked
I was like,
out.
that's how it first started. Mike's a storyteller, and he says, do you ever realize how Mage L, survived? And that's when they said the suppression stone, and it's also like reflecting like her kind of realizing she needs to find peace and needs to be away from them for a while, no matter how long it is.
Yeah.
Needs to find her peace. And Mike's like, you have to believe that she's out there. I believe. We don't know for sure. Nobody knows for sure. We don't even know. But like, we have to believe that she's out there, because that's also kind of a reflection of like childhood. Child in all of us like has to still believe in things like that. And you have to believe that like she is out there somewhere. And maybe she'll find Mike in 10 years or maybe never. And no one is going to know for sure if she is going to come back. But you have to kind of trust that maybe she will. Or if she doesn't, maybe it's the best for her that she kind of just stays away from them. Ending childhood is like moving on from like grief and from sadness. And you have to like, you know, grow up and be an adult and move on and get over things. But also it's like, that's tough about being an adult, but you have to do it. And it's just so like full circle moment. I love it. Callie and her are too smart. They've had a plan since the very beginning. They're gonna just sit around and be like, okay, like, how's your day? How was lunch? No, they're gonna come up with like an actual plan. When Elle said to Mike in his little vision, she said, you're not gonna understand now, but you will eventually. And because she knew he'd figure it out. She knew he'd figure it out that like, oh, she's actually like out there. You have to trust my decision and my choice, that I'm gonna like make the right choice for me. Even if you don't understand it, it makes sense for me. And he said, I have to accept that. I'm not gonna just be in a depression forever. And he helped Mike, you know, say, hey, she wants you to be happy, because she doesn't want you to be miserable over here.
But I mean, overall,
but
it was a
overall,
really good ending. It
was a really good ending, and I really do like season 5. I think my final ranking of the seasons is 1, purely the nostalgia, obviously. 1 for, I do love 3.
Let's say 3 is really good. The whole.
I think maybe 1, 4, 3, 5, and 2, but 3 and 5 are like, I think 3 because like overall, but I think like 5, I love the like beginning and end, but I hate the middle, but I love beginning and end. So like maybe 3 and 5 are like this, but it's like 1, 4, 3 and 5, and then 2. What's your?
Mine. It's very different from yours. It's 1, 3, 4, 5, and then 2.
I gotta watch 2 again because I feel like people shit on it, and I feel like it's not that bad.
Well,
no season's bad. It's
the
just
whole thing where she goes like with the Mohawk guy and. Like,
but that's 1 episode.
I know, but like that.
It's also based around Halloween season. It's literally a Halloween season.
I do like some of it because of Halloween, but it's not one of those seasons that like.
I love Bob.
Like, 3 was like the one that I have a core memory with, because that was the one that my dad and I watched together.
Yeah, no, that's like purely like vibes, aesthetic, like
he was really
colors.
into it from the start. He was like, oh, there's this Russian thing. It's kind of like, you know, Red Dawn. Oh, I'm into it. So like we watched it all. So there's a little bit more of a connection. I
only don't like season 4 with the California thing.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
But I love all of season 4. Like,
but now we have that connection with, and I didn't rank it lower because of that. I'm gonna clarify. We had that connection with season 5 because that was the one that we watched beginning to end together for like the first time. Jonathan, you go out there. You go find Will.
Go find your brother.
Bring him home. Bring him home, John. Will, are you there? Will!
Baby, talk to me.
Will, talk to me. What are they saying? Run? What am I running from, the Demi Hawkins?
Review of season 5. We love Stranger Things. We're sad it's over, but we're gonna rewatch it eventually because I wanna do a full eventual rewatch of like
top to bottom,
1 to 5, like truly like how it begins and how it ends and all the connections. I think it'd be really cool eventually. But
also the art at the end is probably
it's a cool end credits.
The Stranger Things playing book, that is so sick.
Fun fact about that scene.
What scene?
Of the D&D book at the very end, the manual, the little dice.
Oh, the 7
was 7.
Yeah.
And that was because Will, season 1, said in the very opening
7.
scene, he rolled a 7.
Yeah.
So I think Mike wrote a player's manual based on all of
Because he's a writer.
Their journey in Hawkins and Upside Down. I think he wrote that player's manual and turned it into literally a game. All right. See you later.
See you later.